Hi, this video is going to demonstrate one of our exciting new RECUR360 features for early payment discount terms. This feature enhances the functionality of QuickBooks Desktop early payment terms and gives QuickBooks Online customers the ability to take advantage of something that does not exist currently in QuickBooks Online. Let's review how this currently works in QuickBooks Desktop. QuickBooks Desktop allows you to define payment terms that give discounts if paid early. So my 1%, 2%, and 5%, 10, net 30 terms apply discounts automatically in QuickBooks Desktop. Right now, this is set to give a 1% discount if the invoice is paid within 10 days of the invoice date. However, in QuickBooks Desktop, these discounts have to be applied manually to the invoices each time you want to take advantage of them. As an example, my Barb Jones company has 3 open invoices in QuickBooks Desktop. The top one has a automatic 2%, 10, net 30 discount term defined on it. Then the middle invoice is a due on receipt type invoice. It is due today, so no discounts are going to be offered potentially for that invoice. This last invoice also has a similar discount term applied to it of 2%, 10, net 30. In QuickBooks then, when you go to receive a payment for that customer in the receive payment screen, these discounts are not automatically applied. So if you want to take advantage of the 2% discount for both of these invoices, you have to manually remember to apply those. And the way you do that in QuickBooks Desktop is to select the invoice, go to discounts and credits. It will show to you that a $2 discount is available for that particular invoice. And then you need to select done to be able to apply that to the invoice. You also have to do that similarly with the other invoice that you'd like to apply that against. So I'm going to go to discounts and credits. That one is a $5.43 discount. Select done, and that will apply to that invoice as well. Then let's pay this third invoice. In addition to that, all 3 of these invoices will now be paid. 2 of the discounts will be taken in QuickBooks. I'm going to record that as a cash payment, and I press save and close. Now, in QuickBooks Desktop also, it is not easy to see that that discount has been applied to that invoice. If I open the invoice that has just been paid in QuickBooks Desktop, I'm going to see the line items on there. I'm going to see the invoice total just as it was before the discount was applied. If I'd like to see the discount amount, I have to go to the transaction history and see that there was a payment applied of $266.26. A discount was taken of $5.43. So that is all a very manual process and very detailed in how to research and look for where those discounts are in QuickBooks Desktop currently. Let's look at QuickBooks Online and how that might be applied there, because that feature does not exist currently in QuickBooks Online. If you'd like to use that on an invoice in QuickBooks Online, the only way to do that is to manually modify the invoice and apply your discount there. So in QuickBooks Online, you would have to open the invoice, and no matter what the terms are, even though I can define a term named 2%, 10, net 30, I would have to manually apply that discount percent down in the bottom of the invoice over here and say that I'm giving them a 2% discount. And then that would apply to the invoice to give them $3 off of this. Then I would have to save and close this. And then I would have to receive payment against it. So now when I choose to receive payment, that's for $147 because there was a $3 discount given on that invoice. And I would save and close that. So QuickBooks Online currently does not offer a feature to automatically calculate that amount for you at all. And again, has to be applied one invoice at a time. Let's look now at how RECUR360 gives you the ability to enhance what QuickBooks Desktop does and gives you the option to use that feature even if you're using QuickBooks Online. So in RECUR360, under our settings account area, I have the ability to define those terms the same as they exist in QuickBooks Desktop currently. So under the settings area in the terms options, I can set up a 5% discount net 10, net 30, say that within 10 days of the invoice date, I'm going to apply a 5% discount. RECUR360 uses that discount as a credit memo. So you need to define which line item goes on the credit memo. I'm going to use my part called other discount and give it a description. It's called early pay discount. If you would like to as well, you can define a class for that to be assigned to. If you do not define a class for this line item on the credit memo, then you can check that you would like for the credit memo to take on the class of the invoice. The class has to be defined at the invoice level. If you do not define a class, then the class selected on each discount term will be defined. So when you in QuickBooks, in RECUR360, excuse me, go to the customer screen and see that my Barb test customer currently has $2,400 in open invoices. So currently she has 3 invoices that are open, and each one of those invoices can be defined with a term as well. So this one is defined as a due on receipt type invoice. The due date for this is the same as the invoice date. But these other 2 invoices have terms on them that would allow for discounts. So this particular invoice is defined as a 5% 10 net 30 type of an invoice. And my other one also has a discount as well. So meaning when I go to the collection center and I search for the Barb test customer, we will show to you what type of discounts are available to be applied to those invoices. So I see my Barb test customer now in this particular invoice is a 2% 10 net 30, and up until September 23rd, it would apply a discount of $6.58. This invoice has no discount able to be applied to it. And this one is also set as a 5% 10 net 30, meaning that until September 25th, I'm going to get a $69 discount on this invoice. Where RECUR360 improves upon QuickBooks Desktop feature is that I can tell the system I want to pay those 3 invoices, just like a receive invoice in QuickBooks Desktop, but I can either process the payment to whatever payment method is saved on their account, meaning a credit card or an ACH automatically, and those discounts will be taken, or I can record a manual payment similar to what I did in QuickBooks Desktop. When recording this manual payment, I can tell it that it's going to be a check and put in the check number and decide whether I want to send a paid receipt email to that customer. We won't do that now, and we'll just record those manual payments. Then RECUR360 is automatically going to go through, see that the discounts were available to those 2 invoices, but not the 3rd, and automatically record payments and credit memos to that to be posted to QuickBooks. As an example, if I look in my sync status menu now, I see that there is a payment applying of $17.8955 for the total of the 3 invoices, and that 2 credit memos will be created in QuickBooks. So those invoices have now been paid. And if I look at any of the invoices inside of RECUR360, I'm going to be able to see that that invoice was paid, and that right on the main screen here, an early payment discount was taken of $6.81. And the remainder was a payment applied that was check number 2541. I can also see in the payment or credit history memo, both of those payment transactions. So I can see here that there was a credit memo taken for a term discount of $6.81, and that the payment for the check was sent in as a check for the remaining balance of $326.93. Now, what that does in QuickBooks Desktop, if I go run my web connector and update that, is it's going to post the payment and then the 2 credit memos into QuickBooks for you. So you can all very easily see that in QuickBooks. Then for my Barb test customer, I'm going to see that information start popping into QuickBooks as it happens. So there is the payment for the total of $1789.55, and the 2 separate credit memos, one for $6.81 and one for $69.88. So all of that is very easy to see in QuickBooks as credit memos on the account and the invoice amounts with the payment total. The other option that customers can take advantage of easily in RECUR360 is using the Pay Online link to pay that and take advantage of those discounts. So let's go switch to our QuickBooks Online related RECUR360 account and pay those invoices with the Pay Online link. So in RECUR360, the collection center for me is going to show any of my open invoices and also show to me any early payment term discounts that would be applying to that. It looks like I don't have any current customers that have that discount type applying to them, so I don't see a discount date or discount amount. I can create a new invoice or modify one of these existing invoices to be able to have that discount applying. So if I go to, for example, my Cool Cars invoice, and I modify this, so I can edit this particular invoice and change the invoice date and potentially change the terms on it. So if I go to the invoice date and make it dated yesterday, the 14th, and I'm going to change my terms to not be net 30, but be that 2% 10 net 30. And then I can update the invoice. Let's also make 2 other invoices for that Cool Cars customer. So you can see in their Pay Online link how that works to be able to automatically apply the discount to only the invoices that are having that option. So let's go back and create another invoice now. So I'm going to actually make a copy of this invoice, set it to that Cool Cars customer again. It has the same discount terms applying to it. So we'll create that invoice, and then we'll create 1/3 invoice that does not have the discount terms on it. Let's let that save. Now we're going to duplicate that invoice again. Make a copy of this invoice, again to the Cool Cars customer. But this one, the terms, we are going to change to just a due on receipt term. And we'll create that invoice and we'll email the invoice to the customer. Now that Cool Cars customer has 3 open invoices in our collection center, but only 2 of them, again, have that discount applying to them. So if I look in the collection center now, I see that Cool Cars has 3 invoices. 2 of them have terms which are going to give them discounts, one until the 24th, one until the 25th. Then if that customer were to click the email and open the Pay Online link, they are going to go to their Pay Online link page and see that this particular invoice, if I pay it before September the 29th or September the 24th, excuse me, I'm going to get a $5 discount. And if I pay this one before the 25th, I'm also going to get a $5 discount on that one as well. So the customer has the visibility to see their early payment discounts and take advantage of them. When they select the Continue to Payment button, they are then going to be seen again that they're going to pay their invoices. Here's the amount that it's going to total out to them. They're getting a total of $10.28 in early pay discounts, and they would enter their payment information. So they would put in their credit card number here, along with their expiration date, CVV information, address information, and submit. That will then process the payment for each one of those invoices, take advantage of the early pay discounts, and create credit memos to be applied to those invoices as well. So how we process that works the same in QuickBooks Desktop or QuickBooks Online, but it gives you the ability to use a feature that does not even exist in QuickBooks Online. So if I, in QuickBooks, now go look in RECUR360 at our Cool Cars customer and refresh my screen, I am now going to see that those invoices have been paid and that credit memos are going to be applied to those. So if I go look at this now, I'm going to see that Cool Cars now doesn't have any more, it's still processing that last one. So there's one more still processing for me. That's coming through now. And then if I go look at Cool Cars, let's see if that's finished. Now I see, it looks like that one last one didn't finish processing, but our other two now have invoices that have been paid. And if I look at them, I am again going to see that one was our due on receipt. So it did not have any discounts applying to it. This one is our invoice that had the early payment discount. So now it shows me that on 9/15, an early payment discount for $5.14 was applied, and then the remaining was paid on the credit card. So again, if I look at our payment or credit history screen, it shows to me that a term discount was applied for $5.14. The remaining balance of $251.74 was processed on the Visa card. And this information goes over automatically then to QuickBooks in that same manner. If I look at my Cool Cars customer in QuickBooks now, I'm going to see that payments were applied and credit memos were applied to that. In the credit memo itself, it's going to show to you there was an early payment discount and then show which invoice that was applied to here. So you have some great reporting functions from RECUR360 and what we push into QuickBooks to make it easier to find out where that was applied and how that happened, and also adds on to that function that doesn't even exist in QuickBooks Online. So that really gives you the details of how our new early payment discount term feature works in both QuickBooks Desktop and QuickBooks Online, and the options that are available to you. As always, if you have any questions or need support regarding this, you can always come to our support chat and we can answer any questions or help you out. Thanks for watching and have a great day.